Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Okay, so that was my morning worship session, and they're doing announcements right now. So I'm going to take a moment to share my testimony with you guys, and also to share a little bit about something I posted this morning. I started a new group. I'm always starting a new group, and I like to share what I'm doing with many people, and especially those like-minded people who have it in their hearts to help empower others and help other people grow, and to admit that we don't know everything, but what little bit we learn and things that we are learning, we want to share it with you. So just to let you know, my name is Jackie Primrose. Thank you for watching this video on a Sunday morning. But what I posted earlier is that the group I started is Women Empowerment Women in Finance. And that group is for anyone, really. It can be for women, it can be for men. But yesterday I was in a women's workshop, and there were so many powerful testimonies about where women had come from and how they had overcome their horror stories related to finances, and a lot of history and statistics surrounding scary statistics surrounding women and finances. And a lot of people think that, okay, well, I don't really have to worry about finances. My husband's going to take care of it. My mom's going to take care of it. I'm being left a will. I have a will that somebody's leaving me a whole bunch of money, or my wife is rich. My husband is rich. I don't have to worry about finances. But, everybody not worry about finance. I don't worry about finances, but I make motions to plan for finances, because I do realize that I'm a single woman, and I'm not going to have a husband at this point. I don't know. Maybe I will have a husband. I don't know. But at this point, I don't have a husband. And there's no sense in me sitting here waiting for a husband to be my legacy. I'm building my own legacy. And so historically, women have been reliant on others for their substance. And there's nothing to say that God doesn't provide. I definitely believe that God provides for me every day. And I believe that He will continue to provide for me. However, He has put us here on a physical earth, and in a physical country, and in a physical state, and a physical tax related to that, and a physical income related to that. So, we can say that we want to separate church from state and that sort of thing. And I agree with that, because that is part of the Constitution. But reality is, when it comes down to it, it's you and me. It's me. I'm responsible for what I do. You're responsible for what you do. If you make mistakes, you have to live with it. And so, early on in my life, I was sharing this with someone yesterday, or one day this weekend. I really didn't have a good understanding of what money was. I never understood why we didn't ever have anything, and we never had any money. I never understood that. I knew that my mom did the best that she could to help instill financial awareness in my sisters and my brothers. But mainly my sister and I, she would have us count the quarters at the end of the week out of her purse and count them up. And that's how we actually learned math and all kinds of other things that she was trying to teach us. And so it seemed like a lot of money to me. At the end, I would say, I had $10. And my sister would say, I have $5. And we didn't know what $1, $10, what that meant, or how much you could buy with that, or anything. It didn't really mean anything. It just meant that every 4 quarters equaled $1. So we count it up and, make a game out of it. But she never mentioned, the fact that, okay, if for every dollar you earn, you're going to have to pay 25 cents in tax. That would have been something that we should have paid attention to. Or if every time you get an allowance, you're getting an allowance that is like income. And we didn't have an allowance, so really that would not have even come to the. She talked about allowance or whatever, but we really could. My mom couldn't afford to give us all allowance. She had 5 kids, And basically it was just her raising us. And we couldn't afford an allowance. So that's my first introduction into finances. Really, it's just counting coins in my mom's purse. But later, I realized that I had to be around other people, and I couldn't rely on other people to pay for me to pay for my way to the movies, or buy me candy or any of that stuff. So I had to figure out a way to make money. So my mom even helped, but basically I babysat in the neighborhood. I would sit with different people's homes overnight, not overnight, but late at night until they got back from the party or the club or whatever they were doing. And I'd watch movies while I was at their house or listen to records or whatever. It was cool. And then the babies usually slept throughout the whole evening. And it was a really easy gig. So I had like three steady customers that I would watch, four steady customers that I would watch. And so they would pay me $5 an evening. So eventually I had five, because that included my sister. After she moved out of our house, she got her own home, and I babysat for her. So that was my introduction to finances. And so later I learned that that's not enough to carry you. But the one basic thing I didn't have a budget, but I knew I had to have a pack of gum, 40 cents for the bus, and I had to have 50 cents money to make a phone call, and then just have, some change, like 50 cents for candy and stuff like that. So I always kept a pack of gum, 40 cents, and some candy, and enough to buy candy in my purse. And so that was enough. And as long as I had that, I could make it through the whole weekend, no problem. I could get on the bus and go somewhere if somebody wanted to go downtown to watch a movie or whatever, across town or whatever. And if I had to make a phone call to my mom to come and get me, these did turn out to, I had money for that too. So that was just my leave home mad money plan. But then still, I didn't think about, I didn't think about savings. One thing I did save at one point, but we lived in a really poor neighborhood, and you had to be real careful about where you saved your money. Now, when I was really young, like maybe 5 or 6, I thought I could put money in the ground and it would grow like a beanstalk and grow great, great big dividends. After that, I thought, well, I'm going to grow a money tree. So somebody gave me $1, and I went in the backyard and I buried the dollar, and evidently somebody saw me burying the dollar and they went and dug it up. I couldn't remember where I buried it. I don't know what, but I could never to this day find that dollar in my backyard. So anyway, that was just scary, right? I mean, that's just so off the chain, not understanding finances, not understanding money. And that money on the tree concept went with me even up into my adult age, because I really didn't understand how to make money. And then one day I went to work with a friend who, I was out of school for the summer, and we were just trying to find something to do. So I would just go up the street and hang with this lady. It was like, she was like the party house. Well, not really the party house, but it was a place where kids would hang out all the time when they didn't have anything else to do. She'd play records. She'd have us dance. We'd have dance contests and stuff like that. But this one particular day, she had to go into work. And so she always had a newspaper there. And later I found out she couldn't read. And so I was like, she can't read. I can read. She's older than me. And I just couldn't believe she couldn't read, because she would actually be looking at the newspaper and she would be finding something. But the thing that she could read was the lottery winning. She remembered if the lotto came out, if the number came out, she could read numbers and she could tell what the number was. And then she could read the weather and tell what the temperature was outside. I guess she could watch the pictures and see if it said rain or whatever. But anyway, I was friends with her. Her name was Robin. And I was friends with her, and she took me downtown. She said, come and go with me, do some work. And I said, okay, because I'm thinking, I can make some extra money. So I went with her downtown and went to this office building, and she was cleaning offices there. So she had a lot of work to do, and she didn't make a lot of money. We were all in the project, so I know she didn't make a lot of money, but her house was really nice. And so whatever the money that she made, she spent it really nice, because she had a really nice pad, it was all white and very nicely decorated. Back in the 60s, that was really the thing, have nice shag rug and all like that. She had all that top stuff. So anyway, I went with her and we were cleaning up. And then at the end of the day, I asked her, well, how much do you get paid? She said, oh, I don't get paid today. I get paid, later. I said, well, how much do you make? And she said she made like $2 an hour or something like that. Not a whole lot, but at the end of the week, she probably would make about $20, $30, and I was like, oh, you do all this work? Yeah, but I only work like once. She only worked like 1 or 2 days out of the week. So, but it was a lot of work because that was a big office building and she had to go empty all those trash bins and then go in the toilets and clean the toilets and stuff like that. So it impressed me that I didn't want to do that. Whatever she did, I didn't want to do that. But as I followed her through the office, I happened to see lots and lots of computers everywhere. And I was just like fascinated by that. And I'm like, how do you turn them on? I kept trying to turn on everybody's computer and I kept trying to figure out, what the little words that were flying across the screen meant. And I mean, this had to be early 70s, like 75 or 70. I don't even think it might have been 73. So these were like, I don't really know what kind of computers they were. They were huge, whatever, but it was big enough to sit on a desktop. So, and it was in a government office building. So, I never could figure out how to turn it on. And I didn't know you don't supposed to turn somebody else's computer on. I didn't know anything about security or anything like that. I just wanted to know. So it stuck in my mind, how the heck does that work? So later in life, I ended up going to school. I ended up enrolling in school and somebody was giving away a computer. And let's see, how did I get that computer? Oh yeah, somebody was giving away a computer and I took it. It was a Commodore something other. And I had to learn how to work it. And the only thing I could do was type commands and see if the screen would respond. I had no idea how to program it or anything like that. But I did learn that it was a word processor, basically. And so I could type my homework assignments and then save them to a floppy disk and then take them somewhere and print them out and then take them to the library, because every computer back then had the ability to read a floppy disk. So I would save it, take it to the library, print it out, and there was my homework assignment. And I was the only one in class who printed out their homework assignments. Like everybody else's homework was on paper. And so the teacher thought that was really, really classy. And then later I learned how to do, so that was my introduction. I tried to learn how to fix that computer. Then other people had issues with their computers. And then I took my computer everywhere I went so that I could set it up and show other people how to use it. And so that was another job that I had, a part-time job, because I was still working at that time, but I wasn't working like full-time. No, I wasn't doing the computer stuff full-time. I was just doing that during the summer. So I would take people who had a computer. If they had a computer, I would take their kids downstairs in the basement while they're upstairs doing whatever. And I would do like a computer camp with them. So I got paid for that. And then sometimes people had elderly parents and they were taking care of their parents and they would want to have some time out and they would let me go in there and teach them how to use a computer. I even taught my mom how to use a computer and how to do all types of things. And my aunt, they're both deceased now, but I taught them lots of things about computers. And then there were people in my church. I helped them learn things about computers. And then some people would call me, their computer was broken, and I would go and fix it. So that's my introduction into learning how to do computers. So as I was doing this, I wanted to learn a lot more. I just said, there has to be more to it than this. So I asked at this time I'm working in pharmaceutical research, whatever. And then I asked my employer, hey, is there any way you guys can send me to school so that I can learn more about computers? And what did they say? No, because that's not in your field. You really don't need to know that. We're not going to pay you to go to school, learn that. And then it just really stuck in my God, that they wouldn't do that for me. And I was doing a lot of work for them. So because all of the assignments that they gave me were technical assignments, like spreadsheets and things like that. And then also I would do graphic design and I would do PowerPoint presentations for the president and stuff like that. And so I really enjoyed those kinds of things. And then I was a really good writer. And so they would give me lots of technical and editing type of assignments. So, but they would never send me to school for that. So, time went on. And then I came to Texas because I had a friend here who told me that this was a dot bubble, whatever it was, and that it was like, a really high, it was like Silicon Valley for Texas, basically. And she said all the computer companies and tech companies are here. She said she even got a job with one of the tech companies here, and she had no tech experience. So I took her up on it, and I took all my kids and got on a plane and put them on a train. And I went on down to Austin, Texas, and I've been here ever since. But, since I've gotten here, I've worked in as a systems administrator, I've worked as a tech help desk technician. I worked as a Unix technician, a Linux technician, and also program specialist, what I'm doing now. But I've done project management, and I've done systems management, business analysis, and that sort of thing. So long story short, I took a long way around to get to where I am now. And I make a pretty good salary. I can pay my own way or whatever. But I'm saying all of that to say that women have not always had a straight path to wherever they are. I mean, women at the top have started in some of the most craziest backgrounds. I mean, the other day, yesterday, yes, we had, we talked with Ariana Huffington in a workshop that we had yesterday, and she was telling her path and how that she started a newspaper, but that wasn't what she wanted to do. She got tired of it and she left, and then she started her own blog. And so, and getting to that, she had been all over the place before she got to that point. But she met a lot of people and she made connections. And what she was saying is that women just don't have those types of connections originally. So a lot of times we are going blind trying to find our way in the world of business. And a lot of times we don't get that start initially, a fast start, as men do. We have to kind of go and then have drops, and we go up and we go down, we go around, and men seem to get on track a lot faster. So their financial stability takes hold a lot faster than women's. And so that's one thing. But when we started talking about all the statistics about women's finances versus men's finances, it's really quite striking, how that for every dollar that a man earns, women only earn like maybe 46 cents. So they have a really strong headwind as far as jobs are concerned. Now, people talk about, women's rights, and we talk about abortion rights, and we talk about different things related to healthcare and related to women and the control of their healthcare. And then also we talk about what men's needs are. A lot of times men don't even go to the doctor, and men are the last ones in because they're working all the time. Men are not in the household as much. Women are usually the caretakers in the household. Even if a woman is working a full-time job, she's still the person that's taking care of the household. So that means that for every hour of work that a man is putting into a 9-to-5 job, a woman is putting in twice that many hours, because we're also taking care of the household, and we're serving on community boards, and we're taking care of our elderly parents, and we're taking care of our young kids. And so we're doing twice as, and this is really conservative, twice the amount of work for only a third of the money that men earn. And when it comes to taking time off, it's frowned on if a woman has to take time off to take care of her family, if a woman has to take care of her kids, or if a woman has to take care of herself for health care reasons like breast cancer or different things that we may have to, or hysterectomies, different things that women have only got to take care of, or to give child, or for childbirth. Men don't have to do those things. So that's why when men go for a job, they don't even consider the fact that they're ever going to take time off. They're thinking, oh, men will be more reliable. They're going to work 9 to 5 hours a day, 8 to 9 hours a day, but and 40 hours a week. And we can count on it that they will very seldom have to take time off. So the perception of what men and women go through is totally different. So when we go in for a job interview, we've already got these blocks stacked up against us. When a man goes into a job interview, he has a clear, rosy path set ahead of him because people are more inclined, or depending on who the hiring manager is, of course. But in general, a man is more favored than a woman because of those reasons, because the company thinks that they're going to get more out of that man than they will out of that woman. So there's all of that that we have to deal with. So no wonder that the average woman only has, like, when it comes to how much money do you need for retirement, most women really lowball it and they'll say like $300,000. That's incredibly low, and you can't really retire with $300,000. But the average woman right now has in the United States, who is near retirement age, like say 50 and over, how much money do they have saved? It's like on average about $38,000. And there's no way that you can retire with that. But that's savings. We're not talking about your 401k. We're not talking about your Social Security money or anything like that. That's just savings, $38,000 on average. And the average, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. That is retirement money that's in your 401k, $38,000. We're not talking about your company paid retirement, not that amount. But the average 401k for a woman is $38,000, and she's over 50. So there's a lot of making up to do for that. Now, when we talk about the savings in the account, most women are around maybe $5,000 at least, at most. And so we're spending our money as quickly as we make it. And why? Because we're not making as much. Inflation, we're not keeping up with inflation. So as fast as we earn money, the money is already being spent, basically. So those are the basic ideas behind why I created this page. And then in addition to that, people just don't understand how money works. You don't understand the very simple, basic concept that money plus needs time, and money needs interest in order for it to grow. And money does not need taxes, and money does not need inflation. But those are the things that those are the hurdles that you have to get over in order for it to grow. And we'll be talking about how to reduce your taxes and to reduce and to keep up with and exceed the rate of inflation, and in any savings mechanism or any investment that you do. So that's why I created that group. And I'm going to get back to my worship service this morning. And I just want to make sure that everybody understood. You don't have to really be a woman to be in this group, but this is for women. So if you get your feelings hurt because you're a man, we're bashing on you. No, we're not going to bash on you. But really, you're welcome to attend the group. But just know that the group primarily is for women. And so any thoughts about what you want to talk about, any stories that you have related to money, anything you want to share ahead of the Sunday morning get together, just please go ahead and put a chat there, and we can talk about that. It's going to be an open forum. Of course, if nobody shows up, I'm just going to be the one that's talking. But I hope that we'll have some talking back and forth. We'll have some questions and answers. And from time to time, I'll have somebody host with me so that we can get two perspectives on the same issue. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for those who joined me in my worship service this morning. And I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.